Alright guys, so been playing around with the tail lights, and what I'm using here is a PET G clear filament. And basically what you do, I don't remember what the other guy's name is that sells something similar. He basically, the whole bezel is like a diffuser, and I didn't want to do that because, well, for one, he's already doing it, and two, I actually want a real bezel, you know, like, because a lot of guys like to weather these trucks, you know, and this way you can you know, run without a lens in the back of your truck, and you know, get some red tape or something and put it over the bulb and make it look like it's bandaged up. But so yeah, anyways, I want to do that. Plus the way I done it, you'll see in the video that I posted on this one. I actually did this one on video. I haven't posted that yet, and this video will probably get posted before that one. But yeah, you'll see how I glue the light in, and the glue itself actually gets squashed through that little hole, and it kind of creates like a little bulb. And because it's this Loctite gel super glue, it'll kind of fog up and kind of crystallize, and it'll diffuse the light. And this side, I just stuck it in there, and it kind of created that little bulb, and I just let it dry that way. And that one, this side looks killer. It looks like the real deal. This one, I squished it out, but I kind of flattened it out with a toothpick. And this one kind of projects the, you know, the lasering thing, you know, where it's like focused. And that's totally what we're trying to eliminate, is how, you know, how that light is focused, you know, straight back. You know, you want it to kind of spread out, you know, and illuminate the whole bezel versus just one point, you know, like the stock lights. So that's what that has resolved. Plus I did add the reverse light. So these are the RC 4-wheel drive lenses on this build. You know, and that's something else about the bezel is if you want to, you can use those original lenses if you want. Otherwise, you have to do some work. Like I was about to say with the other guy, you're gonna want to hit this with I tried like 1,000 grit, and it's really not enough to really break them layer lines down. I actually went down to like a 320 grit or 340. See if I can. No, that's my 1,000 grit. I don't have it here, but that knocked the lines down, and that's it's still fine enough to where a clear coat will clear it. Now you can go with the Tamiya or whatever that is called, but I picked up got this BHT. It's for restoring you know, your tail lights, and this is probably like 5 coats, so it's really dark, you know, compared to that one. But you can do it lighter. Or what I did here, this one here is, I think is yeah, this one's done with a Sharpie. So I did a red Sharpie and then clear coated it, and it's on the front and back. And then to mask off the reverse light, I just used shipping tape, this right here. Just take a piece of this and just kind of put it over the whole lens, and then you know, like the other guy was saying, is you know, you really want to get in there and get it pressed in there within that rectangle, and then take a X-Acto knife and cut it out, and that should work. Another thing I thought about trying is just taking Elmer's glue and kind of filling it with you know, some kind of wood glue, right? You fill that up, and then just let it dry, and then when you do your sand the rest of it off, and then that'll stay in there. And then you could paint it, and then once it's all dry, then you just kind of pick out the glue. Cause you can always add hot water, warm water to it, and it'll release from this plastic. So that's something else you could do. Have I tried it? No. So I'm not 100% at work, so it is theory. But just thought to throw that out there. So I got 4 sets of these in stock. Oh, and that's another thing too, is these are printed with the silk chrome PLA. I will be switching to PET G, and I think they look good without adding anything to them. Actually, I think if you're too shiny, it's too much. I think you kind of want like a satin look to it, and I think that adds more. I think it looks more scale. I used one of them chrome paint pens, and this stuff is cool when it goes on, but when it's dry and as soon as you touch it, the gloss just immediately goes away. I've already repainted this like a couple times. Let's see if I can bring it back. I'm not wearing my glasses, so I can't really tell, but you know, and it'll dry like that. Now I'm gonna wreck my lens here, trying to stick it on here. Right? It'd be cool if you can keep it that way, but like I said, as soon as you touch it with your fingers or something, it goes away. I tried to clear coat it, that didn't work. I wish there was a something like this, you know, that worked as good as this, but wouldn't dull. I wish it would fully cure. I don't know what the problem is. Maybe it's something I'm doing wrong. I don't know. But that's a bit of annoyance. Otherwise, that stuff looks really good. So I think we're done with this part. Alright, so the tail lights are done on the Chevy project. So I'm going to be moving on. These here, actually I'm going to go back to the tail lights in a minute. This here is a red film I was trying. It looks pretty good, but it's really hard to get it on here. And this is like a red window tint I bought on Amazon, and I actually glued it on here. These are junk, so we'll toss these out. These are gonna go in stock. So I got 4 sets of those in stock now, and then I still have the trim sets in stock as well. Whatever I did with them. Oh, they're in the stock now. So if you need trim, check out the website, and then the tail lights will be there as well. Now, something I want to note: if you go to the website and you buy like this, and then you buy a set of those in your shopping cart, if you're double charged for shipping, don't place the order and tell me so I can fix it. Because you know, I'm not gonna charge you $40 to ship this set of these, right? I got to figure out how to get the website to behave so that, you know, when you add things to your cart, you're not, you know, you're only going to get charged the shipping charge once. And it makes better sense that way to bundle things together, because it's not going to cost me any more to ship, you know, this, that, and then, like, say a cab or something. You know, the shipping is, you know, it's kind of, it averages out depending on what I'm shipping, but, you know, whether it's this or, you know, something this big, it's gonna cost me about $20-30 to ship it UPS. Well, actually, I should say 15, because the lowest I paid in shipping so far was 15 through UPS, and I was just shipping one of these out. So, you know, I got to cover my costs. Plus, you know, I'm basically doing that for free. You know, I'm driving 2 miles to, actually it's about 5 miles away, the nearest UPS store, so I have to drive there. You know, take time out of my day to do that, You know, I'm not getting paid for that. You know, what little I make on this, you know, I run that printer 3 hours to print this, because this is kind of fine detail, so these are printed pretty slow. Actually, it takes longer to print this wrap than it does the trim. So anyways, yeah, so yeah, you're better off buying multiple items, and that's something else I want to talk about too. The super scale kits, especially the Chevy. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start breaking things down to make it cheaper. Because yeah, I realize $250 is a pretty steep price, but you know, you got to understand what you're getting. You're not just getting a door kit to make the doors open. You're getting a full cab floor. You're getting the front clip, getting radiator support, the radiator, the mount systems that mount to the chassis. There's a front and rear, and then the ones for the actually mount the cab. There's a cross member there, and then you know, you got your there were some other parts in here. The engine bay accessory kit, the door cards, the dash filler piece that makes up the glove compartment, the kicker panels, your door cell plates, the seat mount perches, what else? You know, the tail lights, of course, you know, and then the trim now, and then, you know, be adding on other things too, to the kits. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to break it down just the cab kit, but, you know, you're basically going to get the infrastructure to make the doors open, but you're not going to get the door cards, the door seal moldings, the seat mount system, the dash filler, and then the kickers. That's going to be in its own. It'll be in an interior part set, and then the cab will just be the door cards, or not the door cards, but the door inner the inner shells. And then of course the cab floor, and then the A and B pillars, plus there's a roof piece that goes in here. Oh yeah, and then on version 2, I think I'm going to make my own back to go in place of the RC4L drive back plate for this cab, and then I'm gonna 3D print the door jambs directly to this piece, so it'll go together a lot simpler and easier. But I want to get this truck built first before I get into doing that design work, and then I'm already designing another super scale kit, which we're going to talk about in a minute here. But yeah, I think we can leave off on the Chevy. I guess where I'm at with this, of course, I got the tail lights done. So the next step on the cab is doing my light harness, which I've been procrastinating. But that's my next step, and then once I have that done, then I'll start building the chassis and get it mounted up and get everything set up, and then I'm gonna get into doing the V8 and transmission transfer case adapter, and then yeah, hopefully I'll have this thing on the trail this spring. Alright, so we're going to set this aside. Alright, so the next super scale kit is going to be on the Axial CJ7 Jeep body. So that is what you get, but you gotta Alright, so you got this floor pan, you know, and like the floorboard is actually down here, but they got it way up here, and then however this fits in there, apparently goes. So yeah, your floor is way up here, and then you don't have any tub. So I mean, we were building the scale rig. It's not very scale, right? So what I did is I designed a complete tub specifically for this body. Alright, so, and it's pretty much just like when this is together, it looks like a fiberglass body tub, aftermarket. So now you have the interior. You know, you got a good solid. You know, this is a Pet G. Oop. So that's pretty strong. Pet G carbon fiber. So as you can see, it's kind of rough. I still got the brim that I gotta cut off yet, and then I'll take a file and get all this rough off here, deburr it. I had supports stick in here, so I had a hard time with that, but that don't matter. I'm probably gonna put some felt in here or something, you know, for carpet or something. All right, so the idea here is I'm gonna use 3M. This is Super 77. Not sure if I'm gonna prime this, but I am gonna prime this with the Tamiya. This is like semi-gloss clear. That's just to etch the Lexan so that this will stick. I'm not sure that this really needs that though, because this will pretty much stick to anything. But I don't think I'm gonna prime this, but I am gonna mask it all off, you know, and like I said, clean it up, and then basically apply this to both the body shell and the core, and then once that dries, or is still tacky anyway, we'll just stick it on here, glue it on. All right, so yeah, I was having a hard time visualizing stuff on CAD, so. And that's something I kind of want to do, is I want to make this a little more universal, and I might work that into the Chevy too, as well. So, like, we'll show you here. All right, so on this one, I have the floor supports as part of the print, and this one I decided not to add that. So it's just the tub, and then there's no supports anywhere, and that's so that we can glue in custom supports to match whatever frame, and also the battery compartment. Because unlike this, where we're gonna be removing the box to access the battery, this is gonna be once it's mounted on there. That's it. You're not gonna take that off to get to your battery. So your battery, the only choice that we really have is to make a compartment. And we'll try to integrate it into the body supports. You know, make it look the part, right? And then we'll build a little battery tray inside of here, and then you'll load it out the back. And then your bumper will probably have to be removable, but you know, I guess it's better than taking the whole body off, right? So we'll be doing that. In the next steps of this, once I get that. But before I really get to do anything with this frame, I gotta get this glued on, and then I think I'm gonna cut these off. That's where I was getting to. I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do with that, because like on this body, the hood's all part of this, right? We'll get our parts here. So this is I got the wrong side. Here's a grill radiator support deal. So this screws on here like so. And then this goes on here, and then there's another bracket that goes on the back side of that kind of sandwiches the body to that piece, and then it mounts, and then that's really it. That's all there is to it. So on this, I think what I'm going to do is 3D print a bracket that'll glue here, and then we'll also screw it from the inside of the firewall, I think. So it'll have both a mechanical and a glue fastening system. And then, I don't know, that way we can take it off, because this is sort of like an aftermarket thing, you know. Maybe I'll 3D print a set of stock fenders for this to fit, and that may change. So that's one aspect. So once I get the front grill on here, and of course I got the hood, and then we're gonna want to get some hinges so our hood opens. Then I'll know where the front's got to be, and then I got to do some work to this chassis. This has got the K10 body mount. I'm gonna need to remove that, and then readjust my leaf spring mounts, because they're slid forward just a fudge for this mount. So I'm gonna bring them back, and then on the back here I have the U-bolt set, so I can adjust the axles anywhere I want on the leaf springs. All right, and then yeah, so I'll be able to get my wheelbase, and then once I'm there, then I can kind of figure out how I want this to sit, and kind of factor in how the battery is going to go in, and yada yada, right? Alright, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get to work on this and clean up the body and get everything masked off and get my glue drying, and we'll stick that body on there. Alright guys, alright, so, and then you know, I did want to say something about this particular build. Later on, when I get into developing our Lexan forming machine and 3D printed body systems, this is sort of how that system is going to work. So it's going to be a combination of 3D print and Lexan body panels, but we're not going to be forming a whole body. We're going to be doing it just like the real one-to-one version, where, you know, we're forming, you know, just a, you know, just a body, you know, one body panel at a time. You know, you got your fender, and then the cab will probably be one piece. Your doors will be maybe one or two pieces, you know, box sides, etc. So everything will have like a 3D internal core, a skeleton basically, and then we'll form Lexan body panels to mold onto them. And then the combination of the two, because the problem with a 3D printer is it prints in layers, so it's going to be really strong one way but really weak the other way. So like this way it's going to be pretty rigid, but flex wise, you know, like right here you can see where I broke it, and then I I busted it here, you know, and that's because the layers are going that way. So not a big deal. I'm just gonna super glue it, and then I'll let that cure, and then we'll glue this on, and then, you know, with this and this, now then that'll complete the integrity of it, and should be pretty strong. I mean, this is gonna be stronger than this was stock, right? So that's where we're at there. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get that masked up and then get everything painted, and then when I get ready to stick it on, I'll fire the camera back up and do it on camera.
Kind of light, either a beam of light or an orb of light.
Alright guys, alright, so I got 2 pretty good thick coats on both pieces. Now something I had to do, and I totally forgot about it after I applied that, is I had to cut the tailgate off, and then the piece that goes underneath the tailgate, I was going to try calling it a roll pan, but it's actually not a roll pan, so I don't want to make that mistake. But anyways, I had to do that. I set that aside, and then that filler piece is in the box of my Chevy here. I'm just going to let that sit for a minute. We're going to glue that in last, but it's easier just to cut that completely off. Okay, now I've been kind of playing through this in my head on how to do this, and I think this is going to be the best approach, is to lay it that way, and then just kind of line it up.
In 1937, a British science journal reported circles found in a field of bark.
Oh boy. Alright, so it's still malleable. Not a big deal. As you can see, stuff sticks pretty good. Alright. Well, that didn't go as smooth as I wanted, but we got it done. So yeah, it's probably not a good idea to wait for it to fully cure. Kind of want it malleable so you can kind of move it if you need to. And then I want to make sure that we're getting that right. And basically you want the plastic to be flush with the bottom of the tub. So that looks pretty good. But I don't think I'm going to go any further on it tonight. I think I'm going to just let it cure overnight. Alright, so here's my filler piece. So that's glued in there. Another thing too is your light bezels. You want to make sure your light bezels are lined up. And this doesn't really matter as long as you're lined to the bed. It's probably more important than the bottom, because you can always take a razor blade and trim that right along there. So as you can see, you can get just take a razor blade and scribe it and break it off. Alright, so yeah, I think I'm gonna call it a day. We'll let this cure, and I'll try not to mess with it. I don't know why, but I cannot let anything dry. I don't care if it's paint, glue, whatever. I gotta constantly mess with it. But anyways, yeah, we're gonna cut this out, and then I guess we'll come back and we'll work on some other stuff here on another day. But yeah, I'm gonna try to be more frequent. I think especially because I want to get this on the trail as fast as I can. So I'm gonna be doing a lot of video on that. And you know, as I build this. So all right, we'll see you in the next one.